Google just wrapped up 2 days of Google I/O where they unveiled a whole bunch of interesting new AI features added to pretty much all of their products, if I'm being 100% honest. So today on the podcast, I want to break down everything that they have showed, kind of my top highlights and the things that I think will have the biggest impact for the industry. Some things I felt were kind of interesting or novel, but maybe not game changers, and others were serious game changers. So I'm going to get into all of that. I also had the opportunity to go to Google I/O and watch it live, which was a first for me. And so I was kind of posting as things were being revealed on LinkedIn. I had a bunch of posts go viral and got some really interesting feedback from people on that. So I'll also cover some of that. Before we get into the episode today, I wanted to say my very own startup has officially launched our beta. The AI Box Playground is our first product, and it allows you to use every single top AI model all in one chat, including Google Gemini and a ton of other ones like Claude and Grok and OpenAI and image models and audio models, all in the same chat. So you can ask for different things from different models as you chat and compare models' responses side by side. There's a ton of cool features. It's $19 a month, so you can avoid paying subscriptions for all of those 20 different services to test them all out. So you could try it out. The link is aibox.ai, and that is in the description. I would love to let me know what you think of it. We're really excited and are rapidly scaling it up. And we'll have some new exciting products launching shortly as well. So stay tuned. All right, let's get into what Google's doing. So the first thing that I wanted to mention that really a lot of people were talking about was, of course, the video. I've said for a long time that this is going to be the year of AI and video. Felt like I was a little bit like, not pessimistic, but I was like, it felt like things weren't advancing as quickly as I had anticipated, just due to OpenAI's Sora model. Not really. It felt like from the time it's been announced to the time it's actually been launched, it really took a long time for anything to come out, in my opinion. But I think that is now changed because there is some serious competition. OpenAI, it felt like, was really prioritizing their text models. They wanted to make sure that they were the absolute best. They're beating everyone there. And maybe they didn't even have enough compute to really scale out Sora in the way that they wanted. So for whatever reason, they had issues. It just felt like it wasn't scaled. I paid the $200 a month to get access to their Sora model and use it a little bit. And it wasn't like it wasn't perfect. I felt like it was like, maybe as good as like Runway or something like that. Except that Runway, you don't have to pay $200 a month. And, when I inevitably didn't want to keep paying $200 a month for it, canceled it, and I'm not using it. So I'm really excited by what Google has just announced, which is their VO3, their brand new video model. And it appears that they have absolutely crushed in video. Why is Google's video so much better? A couple things. It does audio voices. So when you generate somebody, you can actually generate, a video of a guy at the mall talking to someone, and you give him a script and he's actually saying it. Whereas a tool like Sora was just, video. In addition, it also did sound effects in the background. You're at the beach, you can hear waves, you can hear a seagull, like everything that you'd be needing. And this is really impressive. I got to demo this, and they gave me a demo at the Google Center live while they were kind of unveiling a bunch of this stuff. So that was really cool. And what I was really impressed by is beyond just like a prompt box that generates video, which is what you'd expect or you see in a lot of other video models, they actually have a ton of video specific tools. So they have one where it's extend. So you generate a clip. So for me, I was testing it out and I was like, okay, give me like a red sailboat with a captain smoking a pipe on the back. It did that. And then you can extend that clip and have it do something different, or you can change. So it's like, okay, now the next scene is XYZ. So I was playing with it and I was really impressed. I went from one clip to the next where I added some like new additional things, and it seamlessly went to that clip. So like the next clip was perfect. Whereas like some other ones, you kind of had the issue where you'd like ask it for something, it would generate like a video with a person, and then you'd ask it for like the next clip and the person would be like slightly different or completely different. And so it's just, there wasn't any like continuity. And so that was very difficult. This has solved that problem. It's not perfect. I actually asked for my sailboat when I was testing it out to turn into a submarine and go underwater, and the video didn't do that. I'm sure if I tried generating it a few times and like messed around with it, I could eventually get it to do it. It didn't do it on the first shot. So I will say it's not like perfect one shot every time, but it was incredibly impressive. The video is so good. And of course, the fact that they could do audio is amazing. Now, the other thing that they were showing me while I was there is the fact that you can seed the video with images. So you can either use their image model or anyone's image model or an actual image. And you could, for example, take an actor or an actress or yourself and say, hey, put this person on the sailboat saying these things, and it can throw you in the video or that actor, actress in the video. So like as far as making videos or short movies or YouTube channels, like completely game changing. This is absolutely insane what is it's possible to do with this right now. I think literally any business, like there's a lot of businesses where you just got to make product announcements, or you got to make like a tutorial on how to use something, or you got to make an explainer video. And instead of hiring actors and actresses and like all of the production that goes into that, you can literally just run it all on Google VO3. So this is going to be huge. Now, the real question a lot of people are asking is, how has Google been able to accomplish this and make such like an impressive, such an impressive tool that's able to, make these amazing videos? The answer, in my opinion, is YouTube. They have access to the largest video database of anyone. Technically, they don't let anyone else train on it, although there's rumors that OpenAI still trains Sora on YouTube. But they're not supposed to. And so Google really has exclusive access to it. Now, Google hasn't really been like very forward on if they're even training on it. But I think evidently with this video model and what they have, you could safely assume that they are training. That's how they've been able to make this so impressive. So really, really cool announcement out of Google. There's a ton of people talking over on Twitter or X right now, really about all of the capabilities and they're showing off videos that they've been generating with it. So it's really impressive. One of the big things that people are showing off a lot is the fact that it can do accents. So they'll generate different people with different accents. And I think this really goes to show that this was trained off of a very robust data set. You have other tools recently that have come out where they're able to do video generation, but they're like, listen, it's only English. It's like very basic kind of what it's actually capable of doing. And so the reason why we're kind of having that from other companies is because they're stuck with not very robust data sets. And so, there's this crazy viral video going out right now where there's like all these characters as zombies, and they're a revolution, and they're British accents and American accents, and they're school teachers. Like if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, I'm showing the clips, but otherwise I'm just explaining. But like these are super, super impressive videos. The quality is high quality. It looks cinematic. It looks like real people. You can make all sorts of things. People are generating, like intense scenes where a guy's pointing a gun at someone, or, having a really intense conversation, or like there's just all of these things where I'm impressed by what it's capable of doing. I'm interested on like what kind of safeguards go into place, because most of the clips that I'm seeing are like quite unhinged, if I'm being honest. But like on the other hand, to some degree, you kind of will need that if you want to make good movies. You know what I mean? So it's interesting to see how Google tries to play with this, if they're going to be able to truly, like, for example, in one of the clips I was watching, there's this guy like yelling at another guy and pointing a gun at him and stuff. And it's like, you could imagine clips like, or like images like that are going to be censored on ChatGPT. But like for cinema, for movies, like this is a very common thing that could happen in some sort of action or drama movie. And so like you would want the capability of doing these kind of intense scenes and clips if you're actually creating movies and they're working with Hollywood and stuff. But on the other hand, there's like they're like safety, like what it can actually generate. So I'd be curious to see if there's going to be different modes on this, like adult mode or safe mode, or how they plan on sort of like doing censorship on it. Or there's just like a lot of interesting questions, I think, that are kind of pulling up with the video. And inevitably, if they try to, perhaps censor it too much, then there'll be open source video models that will be able to compete quite heavily. Because right now, if I'm being honest, Google has run away with the video market. This is hands down the best tool out there. And I don't think anyone's even super remotely close to it. So I would be impressed if anyone can get close. We recently had another company come out with a video model. And the big problem was they're like, no, this is totally cool. It was trained on all like data we had access to. We, purchased the licensing for all of the videos we used to train the model. But I'm going to be honest, it wasn't a very great image or video generation model, because they had such a small data set. They admitted a lot of the faults. It couldn't do accents. It couldn't do anything non-English. It couldn't do like so much. And the quality was low quality. There's all these different issues with it that essentially Google does not have, because Google has an unlimited budget to spend on the training, and they have the biggest video data set in the world. It'll be interesting. Like, I will be genuinely curious to see how people try to compete against Google without such a massive data set. of video, right? The internet, I feel like it's a lot easier to just get a ton of text and be able to train off of that. But video is pretty specific. And so, maybe we'll see people making partnerships with like Vimeo or Rumble or like other video platforms to try to get some of that data. But right now, I think Google is doing an incredible job with all of their models. There's people like another clip that seems to be going pretty viral is there's one where there was like a guy and they're like, okay, generate a stand-up comedian telling a funny joke. And like it literally was like a comedian telling like a funny joke. He was in like a bar and there's people laughing live. It seemed really realistic. And it's just really, really crazy to see how far we've come since we, originally had the all of the videos of people eating spaghetti and how it would all, fall over the place and look so, messed up. And now we're in a very, very realistic. There was someone also that recently said, I used to shoot $500,000 pharmaceutical commercials. I made this for $500 in VO3 credits in less than a day. What's the argument for spending $500,000 now? Sharing his prompts. So this is PJ Ace. Shout out to him over on X. And then he's got like a video that's a pharmaceutical ad and it looks really, really good. There's like, slow motion of like a person with their dog talking about their pharmaceuticals and they're sitting there and they look realistic and the camera's being able to pan up and pan down and zoom in and there's models on a couch talking about it and everyone looks cool. Now, the thing that I think is really impressive about this is Google has a lot of built-in features that are really powerful for the video model. So like you generate the model, but it's not just generating like the clip. You say pan right, pan left, zoom in, zoom out, go up, punch in, punch out. Like, so they have a lot of buttons and settings to click where when you're generating your clips, it's doing exactly what you want. So very impressive stuff. I think Google's running away with this and I am curious if anyone will catch up. I'll definitely keep you up to date on everything happening with Google and video. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today. I appreciate it if you could leave a review wherever you get your podcast if this was interesting or insightful. And make sure to check out AIbox.ai to get a playground to try out all of the latest AI tools. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.